So I'll start here. Every album that truly changes you has a first moment, not a casual listening, the real one. The one where you stop what you're doing and something in the room shift. I want to start right there at the very beginning. Tell me about the album and tell me about the exact moment you first heard it. Not just the music, the season, where were you, and what were you carrying at the time?
Oh man, that is a really, really deep question. Bruh, I will say this, man. The album that I think really, really, I go about things in seasons. You know, I have moments in my life. And I'll go back to 1991.
Okay.
And the one album, strangely enough, that really began a shift in me was Boyz to Men and Cooley High.
Here we go.
Yes, bro. I had spent that summer of '91 in Milwaukee with my cousins.
Okay.
And when I tell you that summer was like my coming out summer.
Yeah.
And that's when I shifted everything about how I approach things, how I approach my life and everything. And Cooley High was that backdrop.
Yeah.
From the moment when that first song dropped,
yeah.
you know, all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, just me and my cousins riding around in the city, being young knuckleheads, you know, at the time, just listening to that album, rolling around. And it's crazy because even to this day, when we all get together, that's what we talk about.
Yeah.
We talk about that summer. We talk about that album.
Yeah.
And just how much fun we had with the whole Cooley High, Boyz to Men, that whole entire summer. It encapsulated all of us at that moment, man. So that was the one.
Cooley High.
Yes.
So if you think about that album, is it a song on that album or a lyric on that album that stands out to you?
Well, so I like albums that invoke emotion.
Yeah.
You know, and it was two songs.
Okay.
The beginning song, you know, I'm not a singer.
Yeah.
At all, so I'm not even gonna do that. But that
you go and test it on the microphone.
No, you know, when they start off slowly, my eyes begin to see. Mm-hmm. It was like it painted a picture, you know, and I was engulfed in the harmony and what they were saying and the beat, and it just completely captured me with an emotion.
Okay.
And then the last song was, and they still play it today, How Do I Say Goodbye?
How to Say Goodbye. Yeah.
Bruh,
yeah.
When I tell you, man, I was just like listening to that song like, man, how do I? And I didn't even realize it was a remake at the time. You know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You know, from the, I forgot the
see, I'm here talking about I'm a music
I believe
connoisseur.
I believe. Don't quote me. I believe it was. I think from the movie Cooley High.
Okay.
You know, so that was that song there. So every time I hear that song and every time I hear the other one, it just kind of take me back to those moments.
Those moments.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know off the end of the road and all. That was both of us came out of '92. Was that? Was that your graduation song? That was my graduation song.
No, that was not my graduation song.
Because it was actually we had two. We had that and Smell Like Teen Spirit, right? Yeah. So Nirvana and all, right? So I was a Nirvana head, right? Yeah. So it was those two. I was like, man, why we had to sing? Why we got to play that sad song and stuff, right?
Right.
We don't see each other. Right. Like, you know, you come out of high school, you think, this is my friends. I'm gonna see them. You just don't know, man. Life happens, right?
So it happens quickly.
Yeah, man. So you're a Nashville man, born and raised.
Born and raised.
It shaped you and all, and people who never lived there often think of Nashville in a particular way. I think people here in Nashville, especially in today's time, they think about country music and all. But I have to imagine that your time spent there in Nashville, it carries so much more important experiences in your music. Because we've been friends for well over 30 years and
Right,
stuff. And so I
exactly.
know you have a vast music history and all. And so talk to me, how did growing up in Nashville and the Nashville underneath the Nashville, people think they know, but how did that shape how you hear music?
Well, growing up in Nashville, you are so right that it was at the time when I was growing up in Nashville, it was really about the Country Music Hall of Fame. I remember going on tours and, field trips to the Country Music Hall of Fame. But really, man, Nashville has such a good underground scene.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was this one, because I'm a big hip hop fan.
Yeah.
And even in Nashville, there was this one group. It was called the Blow Pop Crew.
Okay.
And local or whatnot. So, shout out to people in Nashville that remember the Blow Pop Crew. But they had a song out, man, and I just love that song, man.
Yeah.
And that was like the introduction to, man, Nashville has so much more than what the outside would see.
Right.
It was truly a scene about music.
Yeah.
And even with the coming up now where you had like, Young Buck, takes it down the line
Right.
from Nashville, as they call it, Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was all that whole vibe, man. It's like everywhere you went. Like I remember, on Sundays, riding through